So folks are wrapping their heads around the idea of a new reboot of Edward Scissorhands, starring Timothée Chalamet. Let's dive into all the details we've got on this reboot, plus what the next Timothée Chalamet movie will be. Timothée Chalamet has recently tackled one of Johnny Depp's iconic roles in Wonka, and now he's set to reimagine another Depp classic, Edward Scissorhands. This 1990 American Gothic romantic fantasy film, directed by Tim Burton, tells the tale of an unfinished artificial humanoid with scissor blades for hands, who finds himself taken in by a suburban family and falls in love with their teenage daughter. Inspired by Burton's own suburban upbringing in Burbank, California, Edward Scissorhands began development during the pre-production of Beetlejuice. Caroline Thompson was brought on board to adapt Burton's story into a screenplay, and the film found its home at 20th Century Fox after Warner Brothers passed on it. Fast-tracked following Burton's success with Batman, the film marked the fourth collaboration between Burton and composer Danny Elfman, and it also featured the last film role of Vincent Price, released during his lifetime. Edward Scissorhands received widespread acclaim from critics and was a box office hit, earning over 4 times its $20 million budget. The film garnered various awards and nominations, including a British Academy Film Award for Best Production Design and a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation. For both Burton and Elfman, Edward Scissorhands remains a deeply personal and cherished project. So here's the scoop. Timothée Chalamet might just be gearing up for an Edward Scissorhands reboot, and it all started with a Cadillac commercial. Yeah, you heard that right. In the ad, Winona Ryder reprised her role as Kim Boggs from the 1990 flick, and Chalamet played her son Edgar, who's a dead ringer for his scissor-handed dad. The commercial got folks buzzing, with some fans suddenly realizing they're all in for a reboot starring Chalamet. One fan tweeted, "Never knew I wanted an Edward Scissorhands reboot," along with a picture of Chalamet as Edgar. Another chimed in saying, "This is fantastic. If they want to reboot Edward Scissorhands with Timothée Chalamet, I won't be mad at it," right after seeing the Cadillac ad. Then there's the fan who changed her whole Twitter persona to honor Edgar Scissorhands, suggesting, how about a reboot of Edward Scissorhands and cast Timothée Chalamet as Edgar Scissorhands, and make him go on fun adventures where he learns how to endure his father's magical skills. But hey, not everyone's sold on the idea of a full-blown movie sparked by a car commercial. Still, some fans are down for seeing more of Chalamet in the role. One tweet floated the idea of a series of short vignettes with Chalamet's Edward navigating life in 2021. Chalamet really nails the look of Depp's Scissorhands in the commercial. From the hairstyle to the makeup and the attire, Chalamet totally embodies the role, capturing that same sense of detachment from the ordinary. Set against Ryder's Kim and her typical suburban life, the ad is a clever and subtly funny nod to the original movie. For Chalamet fans, it's a treat to see him back in action, especially after all the buzz about Dune 3 possibly being in the works. Chalamet's definitely a rising star to keep an eye on. His performances in Lady Bird and Call Me by Your Name shot him to stardom, earning him an Oscar nomination for Best Actor with the latter. Sure, some people might draw comparisons between young Depp and Chalamet, but given Depp's current situation in Hollywood, it's a sensitive topic. Chalamet's about to make a big splash with his role as Paul Atreides in Dune, coming out in October. The commercial also makes a compelling case for Chalamet to take on a sequel to Edward Scissorhands. While there hasn't been any talk of a sequel yet, if it ever happens, consider the Cadillac ad as Chalamet's audition tape. While rebooting beloved classics is a common trend in Hollywood, there's something special about the idea of a sequel to Edward Scissorhands rather than a complete reboot. The original film, directed by Tim Burton and starring Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, holds a cherished place in many hearts. It's a unique blend of gothic romance and fantasy that captivated audiences with its whimsical yet poignant story. One of the main reasons why a sequel would be more appealing than a reboot is the opportunity to explore the existing universe and characters further. Rather than retelling the same story or reinventing it entirely, a sequel can build upon the foundation laid by the original film. It allows for continuity and the chance to see familiar faces return, which can be incredibly satisfying for fans. In the case of Edward Scissorhands, the character of Edward has already been established as an iconic figure in cinema. Instead of introducing a new iteration of the character, a sequel could focus on his legacy and the impact he has had on those around him. This could include exploring the life of his son, as portrayed by Timothée Chalamet, and how he navigates the challenges of growing up with a unique heritage. Winona Ryder's involvement in the commercial adds another layer of intrigue to the idea of a sequel. Her character, Kim Boggs, played a significant role in the original film as Edward's love interest. Seeing her return as a mother figure could provide valuable insight into the passage of time and the changes that have occurred since the events of the first movie. Furthermore, Timothée Chalamet's portrayal of Edward's son suggests a compelling narrative arc that could be explored in a sequel. His resemblance to his scissor-handed father and his struggle to find his place in the world could serve as the central theme of the film. It would offer a fresh perspective on the Edward Scissorhands universe while honoring the legacy of the original movie. Additionally, a sequel has the potential to delve deeper into the themes of identity, acceptance, and belonging that were touched upon in the first film. It could address how Edward's son grapples with his unique heritage and the prejudices he faces from those who don't understand him. This could lead to powerful character development and meaningful storytelling that resonates with audiences. Overall, while the idea of a reboot may seem tempting, a sequel to Edward Scissorhands offers a more promising avenue for storytelling. By building upon the foundation of the original film and exploring new avenues for its characters, a sequel has the potential to honor the legacy of the beloved classic, while also offering something fresh and exciting for audiences to enjoy. With that being said, now let's talk about Timothée Chalamet's next project. Dune Part 3 is still in the early stages, but one exciting revelation is that Anya Taylor-Joy will be returning to the franchise after her brief but crucial appearance in Dune Part 2. While her cameo seemed fleeting, Villeneuve's comments about her character Alia suggest that her role will be much more significant in the upcoming installment. Villeneuve praised Taylor-Joy's portrayal, describing her as perfectly embodying the otherworldly essence of Alia. This indicates that Taylor-Joy's involvement will be pivotal, and her performance in Dune Part 2 may gain retrospective importance as her character takes on a larger role. Alia's debut in Dune Part 2 left many questions unanswered, particularly for those unfamiliar with the source material. Villeneuve's hints about Taylor-Joy's expanded role in Dune Part 3 suggest that the movie may shed light on the nature of Alia's relationship with Paul Atreides and provide context for their intimate exchange on the beach. By exploring Alia's character further, the sequel can offer explanations for the enigmatic moments in Dune Part 2, making her debut scene even more significant in hindsight. Anya Taylor-Joy's return is not the only exciting prospect for Dune Part 3. Jason Momoa's potential involvement hints at the exploration of the romantic subplot between Duncan Idaho and Alia, a storyline from the Dune novels. Momoa's cryptic comments suggest that the sequel will delve deeper into Duncan's character and his relationship with Alia, establishing her central role in the story moving forward. This indicates that Dune Part 2's Alia introduction was more than just a nod to book fans. It laid the groundwork for significant narrative developments in the sequel. So, what do you think? Would you prefer to see a sequel to Edward Scissorhands, exploring the next chapter of the Boggs family story? Or would you rather see a fresh take with a reboot? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on your favorite movies and TV shows. We'll see you in the next video.